Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. There comes a point in life when you've got to stop waiting for people to understand your worth. You can't keep handing your value over to people who don't know how to hold it. It's time to focus and value yourself. Because if you don't see your worth, nobody else will. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real. The greatest mistake people make is spending their lives waiting for someone else to see their value. You've got people walking around every day begging for approval, craving validation, waiting on a "you're good enough" from somebody who doesn't even know who they are. It's time to stop doing that. You've got to stop seeking validation from others and start believing in your own worth. When you let people decide what you're worth, you'll always be underpriced. You were created with purpose, with talent, with power, and with something special that only you can bring into this world. But none of that matters until you start believing it for yourself. See, we live in a world that thrives on comparison. You scroll through social media, and it makes you feel like you're behind. You see other people's highlight reels and start thinking your life is falling apart. But you can't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's edited story. You've got to wake up every day and tell yourself, I am enough. You are not defined by the opinions of others. You are not limited by what they say about you. God didn't make a mistake when He made you. You are who you are on purpose. When you start believing that, the game changes. Here's the truth: if you keep waiting for people to clap for you, you'll never move. Some folks won't support you until they see you winning. They won't celebrate you until the world does. That's why you can't base your value on people's applause. The applause might stop, the compliments might fade, but when your belief is rooted deep within, nothing and no one can shake it. When you validate yourself, you don't need permission to rise. You don't need approval to shine. You just get up and do what you're called to do. The problem is, too many people have forgotten who they are. They've let rejection define them. They've let failure convince them they're not worthy. But failure doesn't mean you're worthless. It means you're trying. It means you're growing. It means you're brave enough to take chances when others are standing still. Every successful person you admire once felt doubt. They once had people tell them they couldn't do it. But they didn't let that stop them. They learned to clap for themselves when no one else did. They learned to validate their own effort. Ladies and gentlemen, self-worth is not something you find in others. It's something you build within. You've got to train your mind to see your own greatness. You've got to remind yourself of who you are every single day, because the world will try to make you forget. Life will throw challenges at you to test how much you believe in yourself. When everything goes wrong, when nobody's watching, that's when you've got to say, I still matter, I still have value, I still have purpose. You can't expect the world to see something in you that you refuse to see in yourself. People can sense when you don't believe in your own worth. They treat you based on how you treat yourself. So if you walk around doubting your value, they'll believe you. But when you walk with confidence, when you speak with purpose, when you hold your head high knowing that you belong, the world adjusts to your energy. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. And let me tell you something, nobody can validate you like God can. When He created you, He already said you were worthy. You don't have to earn that. You just have to own it. Stop letting fear and doubt rob you of your identity. Stop letting people who don't even know your journey tell you what you can't do. Your validation doesn't come from them. It comes from within. The moment you stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose, you'll find peace. You'll stop begging for attention and start building your destiny. So from this day forward, I want you to stand tall and remind yourself that you are valuable, not because of what you have, not because of what others think, but because of who you are. The world doesn't get to define you. You define yourself. It's time to stop seeking validation and start living in the truth that you are enough, always have been, always will be. Ladies and gentlemen, too many of us are wasting precious energy trying to make everybody else happy while neglecting our own growth. We bend, we shrink, and we compromise who we are just to keep people comfortable. But let me tell you something. You can't live your best life trying to please everybody. It's time to take that energy and focus it on personal growth. You can't keep watering other people's gardens while letting your own dry up. Every ounce of energy you spend trying to please someone who doesn't care about your progress is energy stolen from your purpose. You've got to make a decision today that your growth, your dreams, and your peace matter more than anyone's opinion. When you focus on personal growth, something powerful happens inside you. You stop comparing yourself to others because you're too busy working on yourself. You start seeing progress in places you never thought you could grow. Growth is not about perfection. It's about improvement. It's about being better than the person you were yesterday. The world will always have critics. People will always have something to say, but you can't let that distract you. You've got to stay focused on your lane. You can't win a race if you're looking left and right, trying to see what everyone else is doing. Your growth demands focus, patience, and faith in your own journey. Some people will call you selfish for choosing yourself. They'll say you've changed, and you have. You're supposed to. Growth means change. It means elevation. It means you're no longer settling for what doesn't serve you. You're no longer living for people's approval. You're living for your purpose. When you focus on your growth, you start protecting your peace. You stop entertaining drama, negativity, and unnecessary battles because you realize your energy is sacred. You understand that not every fight is worth your attention. The moment you shift that focus inward, you start glowing differently. You start walking with confidence because you're finally aligned with who you're meant to be. Let's be real. Personal growth is not easy. It requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It requires saying no to distractions that used to excite you. But here's the thing, every small decision you make in favor of your growth compounds over time. Every morning you wake up and choose to get better, even when no one's watching. That's progress. Every time you show up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it, that's strength. Growth doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it's quiet. It's happening in the moments when you're reflecting, healing, learning, and letting go of old habits. You've got to understand that not everyone is meant to understand your journey. Some people won't get why you're so focused. They'll think you're distant, but you're not. You're developing. You're evolving. You're pouring into yourself because you finally realize that your future depends on it. You can't grow while staying the same. You can't move forward while holding on to the old version of you. The version of you that wants peace, success, and purpose can't survive in the same space as the version that needs approval from everyone else. So stop apologizing for your growth. Stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't owe anyone an explanation for wanting better for yourself. You owe it to yourself to rise. You owe it to your future to become everything you're capable of being. When you focus on personal growth, you're not just improving your life, you're inspiring others. You become a living example that it's possible to change, to heal, and to win. People may doubt you now, but they'll respect you later when they see the results of your focus. Ladies and gentlemen, your growth is your responsibility. Nobody's going to hand it to you. Nobody's going to push you harder than you push yourself. You have to choose it daily. You have to prioritize your peace, your mindset, and your dreams over people's opinions. Because when you grow, everything around you changes. Your relationships, your opportunities, your energy, all of it elevates with you. Don't let distractions steal your destiny. Don't let approval seeking keep you from becoming the best version of yourself. Focus on your growth, and the rest will follow. The people meant for you will adjust. The blessings meant for you will find you. And the life you deserve will unfold the moment you stop trying to please others and start working on yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let go of toxic relationships that drain your spirit and your confidence. We often hold on to people out of habit, fear, or comfort, even when deep down we know they're not good for us. Sometimes we confuse loyalty with suffering, and we end up carrying people who were never meant to walk our entire journey with us. But here's the truth. You can't become who you're meant to be if you keep surrounding yourself with people who keep you stuck where you were. You can't grow in an environment that poisons your peace. It's time to stop letting toxic relationships take space in your life. Some people are not meant to support your growth. They're meant to test it. They come to teach you what love isn't, what peace isn't, and what respect isn't. Every time you tolerate someone who drains you, you send a message to yourself that your peace doesn't matter. But your peace is priceless. Your confidence is sacred. You can't afford to let anyone's negativity destroy what God is trying to build inside you. Some people only show up to take your time, your energy, your joy, and when you have nothing left to give, they leave you empty. That's not love. That's not friendship. That's a one-sided relationship built on convenience, not care. It takes strength to walk away. It takes courage to say, I love you, but I love myself more. That's not selfish. That's self-respect. When you start valuing yourself, you realize that not everyone deserves access to your energy. You don't have to argue. You don't have to explain. You don't even have to announce it. You just distance yourself quietly and let peace do the talking. You start learning that silence is more powerful than confrontation and distance is more healing than constant drama. Not everyone who started with you is supposed to finish with you. Some people are lessons, not lifelong partners. Letting go doesn't mean you hate them. It means you've chosen peace over chaos. It means you've finally understood that you can't save people who don't want to be saved. You can't fix what doesn't want to change. Sometimes you've got to let people lose access to you so they can see what they had. And sometimes they'll never understand what they lost. And that's okay too. The goal is not revenge or bitterness. The goal is healing and freedom. You don't heal by holding on. You heal by releasing what hurts you. Toxic relationships don't just exist in romance. They can be friends, family, coworkers, even environments that don't feed your soul. You've got to protect your spirit from anyone who constantly brings you down or makes you question your worth. Love doesn't hurt. Respect doesn't break you. And real friendship doesn't make you feel small. If someone constantly belittles you, manipulates you, or uses your kindness against you, that's not love, that's control. You can't grow in chains. And sometimes the biggest act of love you can give yourself is walking away. When you let go of what's draining you, you create space for what's meant to uplift you. You create space for peace, clarity, and new beginnings. The moment you release toxic people, your energy starts to shift. You start feeling lighter, calmer, and more in tune with yourself. You start realizing that the right people won't make you question your value. They'll remind you of it. The right relationships won't drain you. They'll refill you. Ladies and gentlemen, life is too short to stay surrounded by people who make you feel like you're hard to love. You deserve relationships that bring peace, not pain, joy, not judgment. You deserve to be around people who celebrate your growth, not those who feel threatened by it. Don't feel guilty for protecting your energy. Don't feel bad for walking away from people who make you doubt yourself. You owe it to yourself to create an environment where your spirit can breathe and your confidence can thrive. Because when you finally let go of what's toxic, you make room for what's true, what's healing, and what's destined for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful. Discipline and consistency are the bridges that connect your dreams to your destiny. Everybody wants success, but not everyone is willing to put in the daily work it takes to get there. You can pray for it, wish for it, and talk about it all day long, but until you get disciplined, nothing changes. Discipline is the difference between wanting it and working for it. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, that talent goes to waste. You can have big dreams, but without consistency, they'll remain just dreams. Every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard was built on the foundation of showing up even when it wasn't easy. Discipline is doing what you said you'd do long after the feeling that made you say it has faded away. Because let's be honest, motivation doesn't last forever. Some days you'll wake up tired, discouraged, or uncertain, but discipline steps in when motivation runs out. It keeps you moving when you don't feel like moving. It pushes you when your mind says quit. It tells you just one more step, just one more day. That's where the magic happens, in the consistency. You can't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You've got to water it every day. Protect it from weeds and trust the process. Your growth takes time, your success takes patience, and your goals take commitment. Now, the reason most people never reach their full potential isn't because they lack talent. It's because they lack discipline. They start strong but quit when it gets hard. They want results without resistance. But let me tell you something, every great achievement is born through struggle. Diamonds don't form without pressure. You've got to be willing to go through something to become something. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means persistence. It means you keep showing up even on the days you fail. You get up, dust yourself off, and try again. Because consistency beats talent when talent refuses to work. You've got to learn how to delay gratification. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop expecting instant success. The best things in life take time. When you commit to the process, the results will come. You might not see progress every day, but trust me, every step counts. Every small action adds up. The gym sessions, the late nights, the sacrifices, the studying, the planning, it's all building something bigger. You may not notice it right now, but one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come simply because you refuse to give up. The truth is, discipline builds character. It teaches you self-respect because every time you follow through on your word, you build trust with yourself. You start believing that you can depend on you. And that's powerful because when you trust yourself, you stop needing validation from others. You stop doubting your own ability. You realize that you are capable of creating the life you want, one consistent action at a time. The world rewards consistency. The universe responds to commitment. If you show up for yourself every day, life will start showing up for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to dream big. Anyone can do that. But it takes real strength to stay disciplined when nobody's watching. It takes courage to keep working when the results are invisible. You've got to understand that your effort today is shaping your tomorrow. Success is not built in a single moment. It's built through daily choices. You either build habits that move you closer to your goals or ones that keep you stuck. The decision is yours. So stop waiting for the perfect time because there isn't one. The perfect time is now. Start where you are, use what you have, and commit to staying consistent. Because discipline may be tough, but regret is tougher. You'll never regret being disciplined, but you'll always regret the chances you didn't take because you weren't. When you master discipline, you master your destiny. And when you stay consistent, success becomes inevitable. You may not get there overnight, but you will get there one focused, disciplined day at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most important decisions you'll ever make in life is who you choose to surround yourself with. The people you allow into your circle have the power to shape your mindset, influence your habits, and either push you closer to your purpose or pull you further from it. If you want to grow, if you want to elevate, if you want to live a life filled with purpose and success, you've got to surround yourself with positive, purpose-driven people. You can't reach your potential hanging around those who settle for average. You can't build a winning mindset while spending all your time with people who are comfortable losing. Who you spend time with is who you become, and if you hang around 5 focused people, you'll be the 6th. But if you hang around 5 complainers, 5 dream killers, 5 lazy individuals, you'll end up just like them. You've got to start being intentional about your environment. Energy is contagious, and so are habits. When you're around people who are chasing greatness, you'll feel inspired to chase your own. When you're surrounded by individuals who speak faith, encouragement, and possibility, that same energy rubs off on you. But if you keep spending time around negativity, gossip, and doubt, that's exactly what you'll start to absorb. You can't expect to stay motivated if your environment is draining your spirit. You've got to protect your energy like it's treasure, because it is. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Some people only come to take your peace, not share your purpose. The truth is, sometimes you've got to outgrow people. You can love them, care for them, and still know they can't go where you're going. Growth requires separation. You can't elevate while being weighed down by people who don't see your vision. And let's be honest, not everyone will understand your journey. Some people will criticize your focus, mock your ambition, or tell you you've changed. But change is necessary for progress. Don't feel guilty for leveling up. Don't apologize for wanting more out of life. The people meant for you will grow with you. The ones who aren't will naturally fall away. That's not loss. That's alignment. Surrounding yourself with positive, purpose-driven people doesn't mean everyone has to be perfect. It means being around people who are striving to be better, people who hold you accountable, who celebrate your wins, and remind you of your worth when you forget it. It's about finding those who bring peace, not pressure, who challenge you to grow, not compete with you out of jealousy. Real friends will tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable. They'll push you to keep going when you're ready to quit. They'll believe in you when your own faith wavers. That's the kind of energy you need in your life. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your growth is to spend time alone. Solitude is not loneliness. It's space for clarity. When you spend time with yourself, you begin to understand who you are without all the noise. You start recognizing what truly matters to you. You start realizing which people bring peace and which ones bring chaos. When you get comfortable being alone, you stop tolerating connections that don't align with your purpose. because you'd rather have peace by yourself than confusion with